can't lie, I'm mesmerized by these eyes. I'm so high, I can't lie, I'm mesmerized by these eyes. I'm so high, I can't lie, I'm mesmerized by these eyes. I'm so high, I can't lie, I'm mesmerized by these eyes. I'm so high, I can't lie, I'm mesmerized by these eyes. I'm so high, I can't lie, I'm mesmerized. I'm so high. I'm so high.